Hey everyone, thanks for taking the time to tune in and watch. So these are my current duty boots, and I'm going to talk a little bit about how, I guess, my philosophy regarding duty boots, and I'll talk a little bit about these pair, but these are really just representative of sort of what I'm talking about. And I'm going to have a question for those of you out there that can have an opinion on this. So what you see here, this pair right here are Under Armour Speed Freak boots, and these are Rocky SV2s. Now, per my policy, or not my policy, but per my department's policy, I'm required to wear a black boot with a polishable toe. Now, we're not necessarily required to have like a spit polish or anything like that on our boots, but we are required to keep our boots, I guess, at least black. And so as you can see, these the Speed Freaks are not really all that well polished, at least when compared to the SV2s. And there's probably guys out there that would say that these aren't really polished all that well either, and that's fine. You guys have seen my duty belt. It's not really all that glossy, so to have like really glossy boots with not really anything else that's glossy kind of looks a little bit silly, but that's just my opinion a little bit. But at the end of the day, these really haven't been, I haven't polished these up in quite some time. So so where this is going, I use two different sets of boots. I have a winter pair of boots and a summer pair of boots. And when I decide to switch those up, you know, can vary. With where I live, I may end up flip-flopping between these two before I settle into any one pair for any given period of time. So it was just this last week, for part of it, it was, you know, almost 60 degrees, and then yesterday and today it's been snowing and raining and stuff like that. So just within 1 week I may switch between two pairs of boots. So these the Speed Freaks are Gore-Tex lined, and these are my winter boot, and the SV2s are not Gore-Tex lined, and these are my summer boot. Now, these SV2s have been in rotation for quite a while, and as you can see, I've damn near worn the sole off of them. As I said, they're not Gore-Tex lined. In fact, they have drainage ports right here so that moisture can drain out, and their current black duty boots don't have this, but there's actually traction right there in case you need to fast rope. So the military SV2s have the traction there, but I believe their current production duty boots do not have that. So as I said, Gore-Tex, not Gore-Tex line. These do have like some antimicrobial lining and things like that, and I found that it's not too bad. When it's really, really hot, these boots can be a little bit thick, but for most of the time, these aren't too bad. And for most of the time during the winter, these keep my feet sufficiently warm. Now, if it's really, really cold outside, or if I have to be standing around on cold pavement for a long period of time, if I have some kind of thin socks on, my feet can actually start to get a little bit cold. So there's the boots themselves. Just kind of a little bit of a, you know, quick sort of down and dirty on both of these boots. Now, generally speaking, I like both of these boots. Like I said, couple downsides to both, but that kind of is what it is. So as I said, you can see these boots are damn near worn out, and so I'm probably going to be replacing these boots and would like to do that sometime soon. Now, I've looked at a bunch of different boots, and I'm having a really hard time finding something that I think is both quality and is not Gore-Tex lined. Also, I don't like boots that have the side or the zippers on them. I think that's janky. I don't understand why you would want a zipper. To me, that seems like it'd be uncomfortable, and nah, I'm not into that. So if you've got a boot recommendation, again, non-Gore-Tex lined, it's got to have a polishable toe. I don't care if it's 8-inch or 6-inch. These boots are 8-inch. The SV2s are 8-inch, and these are, I actually just looked on Amazon. They call them 7-inch boots. I thought they were 8, but, or I'm sorry, I thought they were 6. Amazon says they're 7. I don't know. So, excuse me. If you have a suggestion for a pair of boots that can replace these SV2s, by all means, let me know. I've had these boots. I don't know how many summers I've worn them now. Quite quite a few. You know, 4 probably. This will probably be going into their 5th until new boots get here. So they've held up reasonably well. And if I can't come up with anything else, I'll just get another pair of these. But I like to try new stuff. So if anyone has some suggestions, throw them up in the comments. Now, obviously during the summer, you really don't need to mate these up with anything. But during the winter, if you live someplace where there's lots of snow and stuff like that, you may think that these boots are really not adequate for dealing with snow, and you would be right. They're okay for like light skiffs and stuff like that, but once you start dealing with lots and lots of snow, these boots can be a little bit inadequate. And so what I have found, and actually what a lot of guys on my department have started doing, is we combine a regular duty boot, just like these, with gaiters. Now these are made by Outdoor Research. They're Gore-Tex just gaiters, and so I'm not gonna like put these on or anything, but generally speaking, these would go over your boots, over the pants, and then you can keep the snow out. So if you don't know how gaiters work, I picked these up, I think, at Sierra Trading Post, and they were maybe like $30 or so. But now's probably the time, if this is making sense to you, now's probably the time to pick something like this up. They're, you know, we're coming to the end of winter and things like that. Things like this are starting to go on sale. So that gives me the advantage of essentially having a winter boot. I have, you know, that now gives me water protection all the way up to mid shin height, and I have a nice light boot. So I can wear this around just when I'm out on patrol, you know, handling wrecks and, you know, just day-to-day stuff. I can wear these out and about, but then if, you know, the situation calls that we need to do like building clearing or, you know, running and stuff like that, I still have a nice light duty boot. I don't have to transition to a heavy winter boot to accomplish that mission. Now, I may have to incorporate a little bit warmer sock and those kinds of things, but I have found that these boots with these and a nice heavy wool sock will pretty much keep my feet warm for sort of extended periods of time, well down to -20. So you know, that's a combination that works for me. So like I say, that's something, this sort of combination here is something that my department has started to do. Fortunately, I don't think we had to do it this year, but last year the snowfalls could get pretty bad, and you know, we were dealing with stuff where we were walking around in pretty deep snow. So simple item like this can really save your feet and your legs and stuff like that when the weather really gets nasty. Now, how we accomplish that with our uniform policy, if you don't have something like that, is our uniform policy spells out, you know, the type of boots that we wear, the uniform that we wear and stuff like that. But then we've got sort of a catch-all in it that talks about when either the weather or the situation gets nasty enough, we can actually forego parts of the uniform policy to adapt to the situation. So obviously unusual amounts of snow would constitute that. We can't, you know, we don't want to get soaking wet and stuff like that as we go about our day-to-day. So this gives us a nice professional look while still being functional for us. Now, just I guess as a little bit of a disclaimer, we wear a blue uniform, and so the black isn't really an issue. If you're wearing a brown uniform or something like that, maybe dark green, these wouldn't be too bad, but you know, like a light brown uniform or a dark brown uniform, this may look a little bit weird. You may want to, if you can, maybe try out some different colors with your uniform pants. So there's that. There's a little bit of boot philosophy for you guys. And so again, I'm a big proponent of having 2 sets of boots, 1 set for winter and 1 set for summer. And then obviously, if your uniform policy allows, you switch them up as you need to. So as you're, you know, as you're going through spring and fall, maybe you're flip-flopping between these boots before the weather conditions really kind of dictate that you settle on one for a couple months. So there's boot philosophy by me. If you have any questions, certainly throw them up down there at the bottom of the page. If you have suggestions for a replacement for these boots, please let me know. These boots are going to be in rotation probably through next winter. They're still doing well. This is only their 2nd winter that I've had these, so they're doing well. But again, if you have suggestions for a replacement for these SV2s, by all means, throw it up there on the bottom. And if you can, you know, a little bit of this is maybe why. But other than that, go ahead and throw them up there on the bottom. Assume that price is not an option. So if you like the content, like and subscribe and share and all that good stuff. But I appreciate you guys taking the time to tune in and watch. Thank you.